Hi, I'm Paulina Bourgeois, and I work at First Solar. I am a development engineer, and I have been working there for the last 12 years. Something cool about my job is that I get to work with a microscope, and this particular microscope is a scanning electron microscope, which is able to magnify up to 100,000x, which is pretty high magnification. And I'm also able to generate images using this microscope. The electrons bounce off the sample and they come back to a detector, and I'm able to generate images so I can capture specific details, specific defects. So that's something cool that a lot of people don't have that access to to that specific instrument. And I also get to work with liquid nitrogen. So that's really cool. One time I was able to capture something that was a little bit odd. There was some kind of bug that had kind of made its way into my sample. I think it was a mosquito or a fly. So we popped it under the microscope, and we were able to capture details of this particular friend that we had on our sample. And I took pictures of his eyes, his wings, and that was something cool that was just kind of random, and it was just there for us to look at. So it all started out when I was in high school. I took my first chemistry class, and I just became fascinated by everything that I learned in that class, from just being in the lab to how, the elements interact, chemical reactions. It just fascinated me. After high school, I knew I wanted to go to college to pursue a degree in the sciences. So I ended up going to Ohio University, and they had an amazing forensic chemistry program. And at that time, that was, something I was really interested in. So once I got to college, I took different classes, a lot of, chemistry, physics, math, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do, in the future for my career. I graduated with a forensic chemistry degree, and, at the time that when I was in college, I was able to do some research in the analytical equipment lab. And so that experience got me my first job, which was as a chemist in a quality lab. So working, at that first job, I was able to get a lot of experience, a lot of hands-on experience, which helped me get the job that I have now. It was a little different. It was still science-related, but it was not in the forensics field. Now I'm more of an engineer, and working with materials, and I still do a lot of lab work, but it's just a little different than what my degree that I got was in. I love books, but I really like textbooks. I find them very fulfilling. Like when I sit down and read and spend that much time looking at a book, I want to get information from it. I want to learn from it. I want it to help me understand what the topic that I'm learning about.